From the vibrant township of Katlehong, east of Johannesburg, South Africa, MUSTBEDUBZ is an accredited DJ and multi-platinum music producer. Known for his versatility and boundary-pushing sound, he's released charting records across Amapiano, Afropop, hip-hop, positioning himself as one of the most sought-after dynamic music talents. Throughout his career, he has collaborated with some of the industry's biggest names, including the late great, aka the late great Costa Tich, Vocalistic, Usiswa, Scott's Mapuma. The list is endless. There's Nadia Nakai there, you name it. Brother Man has been in the studio with some of the biggest names. They say his music is high energy dance music performances, and he has played at major venues and festivals across South Africa, as well as international. He's been to places like the United Kingdom, Tanzania, Kenya, Eswatini, Ethiopia, Zanzibar. Welcome, MUSTBEDUBZ. Good evening. Welcome to the show.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you so much for having me.
It's good to have you, man. You're a superstar. You've done everything. I want to congratulate you, with 255,000 plus monthly listeners right now. On your socials, you are one of the biggest names in the industry. Tell me about Kwanda. It's going to be released. When is it coming out?
So just just to say greetings to everybody who's listening right now. So Kwanda is a very special baby of mine. It's my debut album that is getting released this coming August, the 7th of August to be exact. It'll be my debut album, and the song that you just played right now, Ndlela, that's the lead single to the debut album.
Yeah, well done. So why the 7th of August? Why is that day very special for you? And this is your first EP.
This is not just even an EP. Like it's an album. I've never done an actual album, so I'm very nervous about it. But it is my debut album. And the 7th of August basically for me was just was a date that I looked at as when we are coming to change of season. We're coming to the change of season, coming to we're going from winter, going all the way the spring. We're leaving winter, we're going into the spring. So it's new beginnings, it's growth. It sets nicely to the theme of the album, which is Kwanda, which means growth. And as the change of season comes, new plants are growing, new life is forming. Everything is just it surrounds the whole theme and the concept of Kwanda, which means growth in English, which is a Zulu translation of of growth.
MUSTBEDUBZ, I'm going to have to negotiate the date with you because I'm born on the 4th of August. So let's just move it like 3 days earlier. When I'm celebrating my birthday, you can be celebrating your album. I look forward to it.
Shout out to you.
You shout out, my brother. So Kwanda, like you say, it means growth in isiZulu.
isiZulu.
You think you're growing?
Yes.
Yes, you're growing. And where do you see yourself in the next 12 months?
For me personally, my journey is headed. The bigger goal of the journey is international collaborations, international music, and global, basically a global market. I want the music to reach a global market, global audience. I think this is the right time because Wamanje, the whole world is looking at Africa and South Africa. All eyes on us, and we are the voice of a global community right now. So I think that's where my goals are. That's where this album is headed. That's where the next 12 months is headed, global.
I like the fact that it's a blend of sounds. Yeah, I can feel Amapiano right there. Jazz influenced as well. I really do like it. People are saying Amapiano is overdone. Is that true?
I don't think so. I think globally, like I said, it's still a new sound, you
It's a
know.
new sound. Yeah.
It's still very, very much infectious globally. We do have other blends of global sounds that are making their way, like, you know, three step, you know,
Yeah.
Afrotech.
Yeah.
um they're growing exponentially, you know. But Amapiano as a genre is reaching new and newer heights every year globally, and it doesn't have any trajectory to stop anytime soon.
Yeah. Yeah. One of the things that I gotta salute you on is, Costa Titch, the big flexer. It's still a jam. That man, what a track! Tell me about that. You work with some big artists, aka vocalistic. Do you think that you'll be intimidated now that you're going in front of the mic rather than behind the mic?
it I can say one thing, it took a lot, you know. It took a lot because just my character is I'm someone who's very, I could say, introverted. I'm
Okay.
someone who likes to be in the studio, you know, behind the mic, behind the PC, behind the studio, behind the music, you know. So stepping into the limelight, as they call it, you know, was a big challenge, you know. It takes a lot out of you, you know. It takes a lot of energy. For me, I often say, nama data bundles, you know, my social data bundles,
Yeah.
they're very limited. At some point they deplete. So it's been a
Yeah.
challenge, but it's been a very exciting challenge, let me say.
What do you prefer, being a producer or being a DJ?
I definitely say production. Production is my first love, but I love DJing. I love mixing sounds. I love controlling the energy. I love giving people energy. I love telling story through music. But producing is my number one. Yeah.
Yeah, but as a DJ, you've been around, man. You've played Cotton Fest, Back to the City. You've been in the UK, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia. You've been all around. What do you think, the biggest sound is right now on the dance floor? Still Amapiano?
The biggest sound on the dance floor internationally is Amapiano.
Yes.
Is Amapiano. Like I said, there are other variants that are slowly, you know, gaining traction globally. Things like Afro House. Afro House
Yeah.
has been around for years, you know,
Yeah.
and now with the reincarnation of I call it the reincarnation because I feel like three step is a reincarnation of, you know, Afro House and Amapiano mixed together, and Afro Tech. So I feel like all these new sounds and these hybrids of sounds that are coming out, you know, are tearing up the dance floor. And the nice thing about it is that it's all local. It's all proudly South African.
Yeah. Would you say that three step is where we all going? Three step is the future?
I'd say so. I'd definitely say so. You know, I'd definitely say so. I think it has its market. It has its people. Right now, though, still majority. We are still jamming to the sounds of Amapiano. You know, it hasn't stopped. You know, I mean, even some of the hits that are on the charts, you know, are still Amapiano, and I think
Yeah.
it's our sound, so we can be proud of it. We can play it for years. Like I don't think it's stopping anytime soon.
Okay. No, I totally, I concur. I believe you're right there. Your music has been in some really important places like Netflix, Showmax, in Blood and Water, Champions, Rhythm City. Where do you see Kwanda being placed?
It is a soundtrack, you know. It is a soundtrack to whatever mood you are in. There's a song for each mood. That's what I love about so much about this project. There is a song that will get you up when you are not feeling good, that will inspire you. Songs like Ndlela. Ndlela is one of those songs. It's basically, in translation, it means journey, you know, and it talks about the journey, you know. And I think we all have a journey that we are going through. We all have our ups and downs, and a song like that is a motivation to whoever's listening to say, no matter how the road or how the journey might turn out, inde le ndlela vele, but so inqoba ngomthandazo, which means that we're gonna conquer it through prayer.
Yeah, I totally understand. And branding is important. You know, you look the part, you sound the part. How about brand partners? We're looking at people like Red Bull, Jeep, you know, sports scene, people coming into what you're trying to create, supporting your vision and dream.
Yes, yes, definitely. I'm very picky about the type of brands that I work with, and even with me working with some of the brands that I work with, I think they for me, we aligned in terms of our ethos, what we're going for. Partnering up with brands like Red Bat, for instance,
Yeah.
it was all about the culture, the street culture,
Mm.
the pop culture, and the youth culture, and that's where I'm at. That's where my brand lived, and even going forward, I believe that every brand that I partner up with, we need to align in that sense. We need to align, and there's many more. There's many more to come.
Mm. Yeah. Anybody you in the studio with at the moment besides, your current EP?
Besides the current work that I have, there's so much other music that still needs to be released. Like I'm not one person who ties myself to one genre. Like I'm
Okay.
multi-genre, and I don't like to box myself. So there's so much other music that I think people would be shocked if they heard to hear me. But
Mm.
I always follow the energy. There's so many unreleased with so many artists. There's some of the artists that we mentioned, earlier on that I've worked with, but there's so many unreleased and in so many different pockets of music, and I'm so excited for people to hear it alongside this journey when they come with me through this journey. It's gonna be the album first, and then I will be unpacking all the rest of the other music, as we go.
Okay. The band behind the music, we're going to be hearing a lot of your music during your sets when you play in South Africa and all around Africa.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trust me.
Any videos yet? What are we looking at in terms of visuals?
I'm glad you mentioned it because we dropped the visual for Ndlela.
Mm.
The song that you just played right now, Ndlela, we dropped the visual for it last week, Friday. So it just dropped, and I urge everybody to go and listen to it and go see it, go view it. It's on all digital platforms, and it's on YouTube as well as all the TV music channels that are out there. I urge everybody to go see its beautiful visuals, beautiful story. I like
Mm.
storytelling, so it's storytelling everything in that music video. I urge everybody to go see it.
So, for a younger producer who wants to be a big superstar like you one day, and they're listening to this interview today, how do you think they can get started, and what can you best give them as advice?
I'm flattered you saying I'm a superstar because I
Yeah.
feel very humbled in this journey. I feel very blessed.
Mm.
And I think what the advice I'd give, let me say the advice I'd give to even my younger self,
Okay.
I'd say work on your craft, work on it. When you work on your craft, a lot of things will come into play, but the first thing that you need to take care of is your craft. The
Yeah.
passion for your craft is very, very important. Everything else will come together as long as you take care of the very, very first thing, your craft.
Yeah. During the interview, you mentioned a couple of times the fact that prayer is important. Do you pray? Where does your
Oh,
music, your inspiration come from?
yes, I'm very spiritual. Like I would like to consider myself a very spiritual person. I actually grew up playing the keyboard in church. I used to play the keyboard in church. I used to put people in the spirit. So
Yeah,
I come from that background.
yeah,
All
yeah.
my music is I feel like is ingested with that. I can't make music without having a a message and an energy that I have to pour into it. So I'm very big. I'm very big on spirituality, and I like to convey that message even through the music.
When your music goes up, the spirit comes down. Must be dubs.
Yes, sir. Amen. Amen.
All right. When next are you on the decks, my brother? When can we see you do your thing?
So we have quite a couple of gigs that are lined up for the rest of the month of July. I urge everybody to please go onto the socials to get a gig update. I post regularly where I'm playing next on my socials. That is must be dubs on all social media platforms, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you use. You just go type must be dubs, MUSTBEDUBZ, must be dubs on all social media platforms.
On this African music scene right now, who is your favorite? Who do you think is really hitting the mark?
Ooh, you're putting me on the spot there. You're putting
Yes,
me
I
on the
am.
spot because uh, I actually, it's like my favorites are actually not really famous like that. I've got, there's a lot of people that I work with and I feel like are very talented, and I'm a fan of talent.
Okay.
Even on this album, for example, I worked with some of the most talented artists that I've come across, and I just wanted to showcase them to the world. People like Rory Diamonds, you heard her on Lela. You heard that angelic voice. You heard that
Yes,
angelic voice
yes,
on
love
Lela,
it,
right?
love it.
That's pure talent right there, and maybe a lot of people don't know who she is. She's a very young vocalist. Look out for Rory Diamonds. I've got a lot more. I've got Luigi. I've got Zoe Madiga. She's done so many things. She's actually a legend. Actually, you understand. I've got Nogwazi on there. I've got D Rose. So these are people that are like I really like look up to in terms of talent. I really feel like they're talented, and I really wanted to showcase them on this album.
Yeah. Hey, before you go, my brother, do me a favor. Go get Credovi Daniel. Sort him out, man. I love his music, but hey, everything that's going down at the moment, you know, it's crazy.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Wow.
Thank you so much for having joined us tonight, my brother. We wish you only the best, and I'll be there for your launch on the 7th of August. Wish you only the best.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. And yeah, go check out Njela. Go check out the album. Go pre-save. I urge everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Danko.
All right. Okay, my main man's very special guest tonight on Soul Stage, and let's listen to one of his new songs coming out from the album that talks about all his vision and aspirations for 2026. It's called Kwanda.